Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving deep into a massive shift that is fundamentally reshaping how we think about content online. We're looking at exactly why consistency and predictability are the absolute keys to unlocking modern AI recommendation systems. If you've ever found yourself wondering why some creators just effortlessly capture the algorithm's attention while others seriously struggle, even when they have great content, well, you are definitely in the right place. Consistency builds trust because it creates predictability. And in the era of what we call semantic discovery, this predictability is quite literally your most valuable asset.
So let's kick things off with a really simple thought experiment. I want you to imagine heading to your absolute favorite hamburger spot. You don't even have to think about where to go, right? You just head there because you know exactly what they are going to have. Every single visit reinforces your confidence that they'll be serving up hot, delicious hamburgers. But now, imagine you walk in one day expecting that burger and suddenly, they're only selling fish. Now, even if that fish is incredibly delicious, your expectation is totally broken. You inevitably start wondering, wait, can I really rely on this place anymore?
Well, that exact psychological principle of predictability applies directly to your content. When your audience follows you for a specific topic, they develop a semantic expectation of what they are going to receive. But here is the massive paradigm shift we need to talk about. It isn't just your human audience that expects consistency anymore. It's the AI system itself. Both humans and modern recommendation engines are, at their core, looking for a reliable, predictable partner.
Which brings us to part 1, the semantic discovery shift, and moving beyond traditional keyword search.
For years, we were all taught to just optimize for keywords. But semantic discovery means AI is no longer just looking at the tags you typed into a little box. It is actively evaluating the actual substance of your content. It's looking at the visual frames, it's analyzing the audio, and it is reading the transcript to build this incredibly rich, multidimensional understanding of what you are really talking about. It's extracting the true meaning, not just scanning for matched vocabulary.
A recent Google research paper on large recommender models really hits the nail on the head here. The researchers outline how systems are moving towards assigning what they call semantic IDs. These IDs capture a deep hierarchy of concepts to improve how content gets discovered, especially for super niche or long-tail items. The AI isn't just treating your content as a random file anymore. It's mapping the relationships of the concepts inside it to understand exactly what it is you offer.
So let's explore part 2, mapping semantic neighborhoods, and figuring out where your content actually lives.
This complex AI architecture relates right back to our restaurant expectation. Think about it. Just as a physical restaurant belongs in a specific neighborhood in a city, your content is assigned a semantic ID based on its substance. This effectively parks your channel in a predictable semantic neighborhood. For example, if you make volleyball content, your neighborhood is the hierarchy of sports and then volleyball. If you're consistent, the algorithm always knows where you're parked, so it can easily recommend you to the right fans.
But what happens when you expect a hamburger and you get fish? We call this a semantic misalignment. If you suddenly switch topics, or if your title promises one thing in the metadata but delivers something entirely different in the actual machine-readable content, you create a promise/delivery gap. And here is why this is absolutely critical today. That gap is now highly visible to the large recommender model. It evaluates the content substance directly, completely independent of whether humans are clicking on it or not.
Let's look at how to fix this in part 3, the 4 layers framework and diagnosing semantic misalignment.
The 4 layers of discoverability pipeline breaks this dynamic down perfectly. Layers 1 through 3, which are your titles, your thumbnails, and your visual pacing, while those primarily serve to get human beings to click and watch. But layer 4, down at the bottom, is the machine-readable structure, your transcripts and your chapters. That layer primarily serves the AI system, giving it the raw data it needs to actually understand your substance. So to diagnose your own channel, you need to audit your content by comparing layer 1 directly against layer 4. Step 1, look at the promise in your titles. Step 2, look at the delivery in your transcripts. Step 3, find the gap. Because listen, if your title promises a detailed tutorial on home baking, but a text-based AI system reading your transcript just sees a bunch of rambling, off-topic stories in garbled words, you have a massive gap to fix.
That takes us to part 4, building bilingual trust and speaking the language of both humans and AI.
The crucial point to understand is that the absolute foundation of this bilingual trust is your transcript. Independent industry analysis actually highlights that relying on auto-generated captions carries a meaningfully higher error rate. A transcript full of dropped words, misheard technical terms, or just garbled phrasing represents a real, measurable gap. It literally destroys the machine's understanding of your content. Google's Gemini-powered models are trying to reason about your content, and you simply cannot give them garbled data to reason with.
When you treat your transcript as a first-class piece of content, uploading a highly accurate, human-reviewed transcript and providing clear, logical chapters, you give the AI the exact hooks it needs. This beautifully aligns your creator metadata with the actual extracted substance of the content, creating that compact representation the system uses for matching. It bridges the gap perfectly.
So let's quickly recap the core takeaways from this explainer. Consistency is predictability, and that predictability builds bilingual trust with both your human audience and the AI. By staying consistent, Semantic IDs park you in logical, predictable neighborhoods. You absolutely must align Layer 1, the promise, with Layer 4, the delivery. And remember, consistency isn't about making the exact same content over and over again. It's about reliably delivering on the expected promise across every single upload. This compounds over time to create a highly legible, trusted profile for discovery systems.
As semantic discovery becomes the undisputed standard across the internet, I want to leave you with this question to ask yourself today. Are you confusing the system with a random menu that changes every single week, or are you staying semantically aligned to build a trusted, citable answer engine for your specific niche? The choice is totally yours, but the algorithm definitely knows which one it prefers. Thanks for learning with us on this explainer, and go start closing those gaps.